Benjamin Strong 2221 says,
Val.
You sir have left me high and dry. I'm
Yeah,
out here grinding levels solo lol.
for you. For you. Oh. Friday, I have to play Warcraft by myself. I'm not doing the early access. Now, if Blizzard had like a giant nutsack, like much bigger, maybe. But I'm not a big fan of the early
Benjamin
access.
Strong 2221
How dare
says,
you, sir?
How dare you?
That's funny. But my return shall be glorious. It's going to happen. It'll happen next week. It will happen next week.
Benjamin Strong 2221 says, I'm in the trenches taking grenades.
Oh, did the insurance adjuster get back to you? I'm very curious
Benjamin
about that.
Strong
Not yet.
2221 says, Not yet.
They better freaking pay for that. Val, until then, I have a story of my own. You're gonna like this. This is kind of funny. Actually, I feel a little bit ashamed, but I do have an excuse. Um, so about a year. Okay. So when I bought my place, bought it from a friend who went through XL Plumbing, plumber, and they set up a new hot water heater. Now this hot water heater, the element keeps on going out after 6 months, keeps on like burning out. So I call them back over and they would fix it. I said, and every time they would come over, I'd say, why does this keep on burning out? And they would always blame the person who came before. That's in the same company. Oh, well, this guy didn't know what he was doing, but I do. And then 6 months later, something would happen. Fine. And this happened about 3 or 4 times. I think about the fourth time, and this was back in 2024 October. So like over a year ago, the guy comes in because the hot water heater's not working. He takes a look. He's like, "There's no power getting to this, so the socket where it's plugged in is burnt out. Like the power source is burnt out, so you have to get an electrician out here." Well, I'm not going to call you down from Michigan, so it's hard to find a good electrician. So it took really about a year to find somebody who would do it. I knew of one, but he pissed me off and I wasn't going to go with him. So meanwhile, at my place, I don't have hot water for over a year. This Monday, we have an electrician come in. I had him come over to my place, and he said there's nothing wrong with the socket, and which the reason why I'm embarrassed is I actually had one of the things that like you can test with. In my defense, though, it was lost downstairs, but I should have gone out and gotten one because we used to test the switches at home all the time. Anyway, I could have done that myself, and then it would have saved me time. But he said it's not the electrical, and he opened up the hot water heater. There's like the high limit switch in it, a giant red ass button. Presses it, comes right back on. Now I don't know why it keeps on going off because there's something definitely wrong. Because whether the unit's faulty or the people are incompetent, which they are, the unit could be faulty too, and they're not telling me. But anyway, I had to pay the electrician $50, which that's nothing, $50. But they charged me the last time they said we're gonna have to charge you the plumbing company to, for the trip out here. This is rewind a year ago. They charged me to do that because they said, oh, there's nothing wrong with the unit. All the guy had to do was press that button. So I called them back and said, you guys made me go without hot water for a year and made me find an electrician. The electrician said the power's fine. It's on y'all's end, and all you had to do was press a button. And so your guys who are experts are coming out here and they don't know what they're doing. Because that seems to me to be 101. Press the giant red button. If you had to open it up. It's insane. It's insane.
Benjamin Strong 2221 says, The high limit switch is normal. If the temp is too high on the water heater, it will keep tripping that sensor.
So just turn the water heater down. That's it. That's all I had to say. That's it. That's it. It's unreal. That must be what's happening. You gave me a look, I will try it, but you gave me a better answer than these idiots could. I'm so angry at them. For a year, I didn't have hot water.
Benjamin Strong 2221 says, just a little bit, yes. If it's on max temp, it will keep doing that.
All right, then I'll make sure because I didn't set it up. I'll go and make sure it's turned down. Isn't that crazy? This is why I don't have faith in people. No, I don't.
Benjamin Strong 2221 says, you
Oh,
can
thanks, man.
always video call me
Yeah,
too and I can help walk you through it.
thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely. You know what? You know what? It's crazy because I didn't even think to do that, and I should have because we did it with the chainsaw. Remember that? And I had the chain on backwards. But we fixed it. Oh, and then it didn't work after that. I forgot to tell you. Something
Benjamin
happened.
Strong 2221 says, that's what brothers are for.
Damn right. I like how um, the text to speech just said brothers when it said bros. I wish it said bros. It's like you typed bro.
Benjamin Strong 2221 says, bruz.
Bros. There you go.
QFX says,
QFX.
nice Discord live notification.
Oh, and yeah, thank you. Thank you. You're not being sarcastic, right? Because I actually did send one out. I'm not sure if something went wrong because something always goes wrong. Something always goes wrong.
QFX says, I am there wasn't one.
Damn it. Everything's falling apart. You're right, there wasn't one. The hell? I mean, YouTube? Where's YouTube? Why can't I find? There was none. All right, 1 second. I'll at everybody. Everyone. Stop asking me. Uh, okay.
QFX says,
UFX, what's up?
how's Emerald Cream's last Frost Mage today?
At last, I'm one of the first. I have to be one of the first after all the hard work I put in. Doing good. How are you? You doing all right? Emerald creams. Awesome. Emerald cream.
QFX says, doing okay, you $70 lighter for midnight or what?
No, not yet. I want to pay for the early access. What's up, boy? I'm not gonna pay them early access for this stuff. Um, I'll wait. I don't want to pay them at all, but I will. I think I I'm cautiously optimistic about this one. Like I think they're on the right track, despite my frustrations with specific things with the mage. I think they're on the right track, and it's just a game. It really is, and I need to kind of not worry about it. I tend to worry about things sometimes too
QFX
much.
says, They did Resident Evil 9 and Midnight release day same day LMAO, someone fucked up.
Did they really? I mean, it's kind of a different audience though, right? Does it really matter? You think it matters? Might. I don't know.
Benjamin Strong 2221 says, I can tell you this, Disc Priest is still a Giga Chad, I have yet to lose a world PvP battle while leveling.
Yeah. So Benjamin Strong here, QFX is a very good disc priest, and they keep on buffing disc, and they're doing just as much damage as a regular DPS. At least they were in
QFX says, yeah, it matters,
patch.
the big streamers all hop on the new shit, and now they have to decide, Resident Evil 1 2 DXD.
Oh, I see. I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Well, I think they'll survive.
QFX says,
Maybe.
it's a 10-hour game though,
Oh, it
kinda
is?
sucks.
Yeah. What's a 10-hour game? You talking about
Richard
Resident
Lyon
Evil?
3728
What's up,
says,
Richard?
sup guys.
How's it going, man?
QFX says, I like the dark art though.
Are you talking about Resident Evil? I'm really glad they're still making those games. I played the first one
QFX
right when it
says,
came out, and the
yes.
second, and the third. Third one I kind of trailed off. That was scary. They had this giant beast chasing you, bashing through the walls. Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Resident Evil's very, very good game. Yes, this is what we do. We keep on correcting what we can with this.
QFX says, I like to watch the gameplay but it's not really a gameplay loop. I'd enjoy myself, all the zombies need like 5 shots in the head and you're very limited on ammo.
Oh, wow. I can see that being an issue. I remember
Benjamin Strong
the first one
2221
was like that.
says, me and Hero and Zob were leveling together today.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, Val, who's who in the, because there are two numbers I don't know in the WoW Nerds thing we have going on. She can tell me later. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, I am kind of starting to look forward to playing. I guess I'm trying to think why I'm not so
Benjamin Strong
enthusiastic about it.
2221 says,
One is Kira,
one
one
is
is, yeah.
Kira and one is Hero.
I just don't know which one is which. I know it's one of them. But I guess for me, I don't know, maybe it's just, I think a lot of it's me. I just get, it's like, it seems like it's always the same stuff. They don't innovate, but I guess they are kind of innovating, and maybe I need to give them more of a chance. I don't know. This space is too big. I don't know. It's about there.
QFX says, Season 1 not till the 17th, huh?
Is it not? Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. And the thing is, it's kind of nice having a break from Marina. I kind of tend to get frustrated with it. Ah, I need to be getting more sleep or something. I'm not sure. But, but, and this is going to be
QFX says. Guess off-season playing is the same without the rewards.
off season. Um, yeah, I think it would be about the same. I guess, yeah, it would be about the same, right? I mean, it's good to get practice. I mean, I enjoy playing for playing. I I guess one of the things is it's like this. It's like one of the reasons why I'm not as enthusiastic. It's always like the same pattern of events that take place, and I kind of feel like, well, it is. It seems like the expansions are just like a money grab, but it feels that way, and they should be paid for it. But I think the trick in a good company is to make it feel like it's not like you're very enthusiastic about it because of some new things that they're doing or a connection you have. And I think I've lost that connection with them over a period of time. I think especially since they were, I could be wrong about this. It's hard to say because there's so many people, but it's kind of like feels like it's been losing its feel for a very long time for me, or that I'm not the type of player they're going after anymore. Sometimes it feels like they have contempt for their player base, those types of things. And it could be that I'm overthinking it. And I could be wrong about that, but
QFX says.
I don't know.
Didn't they used to have separate art sets for PvP? Now it's recolors of the PvE shit.
And they do the same thing, yeah. I think you're right about that. They do the same thing for Mythic, but sometimes they'll do some slight variations, like between like Mythic Raid and um, like the Heroic. It might be like a couple pieces actually added on to it, but it's the same. But yeah, it's mainly recolors. If you look at between Raid and PvE, it's just, I'm sorry, PvP and PvE, it's the same model but different colors for it, right? Oftentimes I like it's been before where I just like the Raid Finder colors better than
QFX says.
everything else.
I remember my Pally Lich King PvP set, that was badass and you needed Raytine to unlock it, now that was rewarding.
Really? See, I don't remember what that was. That was so long ago. All I remember from back then, I remember one of the Paladin pieces made your head look like a trash can. And I was like, who came up with this? Oh, look at this guy. He's sleeping. Ah. Anyway, I guess the reason why I'm sticking with it right now, frankly, is because of Val, and he brought two of his friends in and then Zerks. Um, and so I think it could be fun.
QFX says.
I think it's,
Warlock and DK sets look pretty juice,
do
Mage
they?
is pretty mid.
Is it mid? And that's fine. Because, you transmog so much. And also, they're doing a pretty good job with the trading post. I think they've they've been keeping up with that, which I'm a little bit surprised that they have been. But yeah, the reason why I play is because of the guys, my friends who are on. So I think it could be good. I think Silvermoon, they reworked that city. I'm actually looking forward to seeing it. I think that could be pretty cool because I love that area. It looks really cool from the pictures I've seen, and it'll be nice having that as a hub instead of Dornegal, which was just awful. It was the worst. And
QFX
then the city
says.
before too, which was
People like New Silvermoon.
Daldrak. They do, yeah. And I feel like they need to be going back to the old world and doing stuff there because I guess this is the thing. It's like every expansion has been you go out to some island, a new island, and you sit there, and then you sit in a hub and just queue for the next 2 years. And so it's hard to be enthusiastic when that's like been on repeat for a decade, over a decade for me. But I think they're kind of showing more signs of life now.
QFX says,
So maybe I need to
oh
just,
yeah, Dornogle was ugly as shit.
yeah,
My left
exactly.
nut would pump out something better.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like when I saw this out, I said, this is where we're going to be. And that's the other thing. It had nothing, like the surroundings had nothing to do with the story, it seemed like nothing made sense. It was just like, and even like it's a city on top. It should be underneath. Like they could have done so much better. Like, or they could have made it so it's like, a little bit more ornate or fancy, or there are more things to do there or something. But it was just like bare bones, empty. Like it just looked so empty and just dull. I, it was just stupid. I didn't like it. I guess like
QFX
every
says,
time there's a new expansion,
people like Silvermoon, but personally I'm not a fan of them recycling old shit wherever they can.
um, but see, I don't. The way that I look at it is they have all this like these rich pieces of the world, and I think they should be going and reusing them and embellishing them and having people go and interact there. But I think it needs to be more old school, where it feels like an MMO where you're actually going out in the world and doing stuff because you have to or should or whatever, instead of just sitting and queuing. I don't mind that I don't look at it as recycling old content as much, like, because I enjoy doing that old content. To me, it's a lot of it's sentimental. So I guess I don't look at it that way, but I can understand where you're coming from there because I'm a genius. Yes. Talking about Warcraft in an art stream. Oh gosh, what am I doing with my life? Val, what am I doing? Slowly. Dad, don't fall again. What did I tell you? I told you, you cannot fall. The last time he fell and he landed right there, he was on the side just staring at me. What are you doing? You're trying to. What are you doing? You gonna try to tip over again? Is that what?
QFX says, LOL, you really hitting him with a what did I tell you?
What did I tell you? To do this. Wait. Think. This will stop over. Stay. That'll hurt him if he falls. I don't feel like getting the cinder block and tying it there. I'll just keep an eye on him. This is. Dad, Okay. There's a better way of doing this. Dad. Aha! That's right. I will angle you so you can't fall. Wedge you right there. Now what are you gonna do? You can't go anywhere. That's right. See? See, he always goes to his right side. So I just stopped him. See? Men, big brains. Women, tiny pea-sized brains, inferior in every way possible. Except they look nicer than us, but that's okay. They have their uses, I will not deny. But men, big brains, always smart. We're always right. Solve problems. We look at a problem, we say we can fix that, and we always fix it. Always. Big brains. Juicy brains. Most of the time when I make statements like that are the days where I lose viewers. Always see
Richard
like
Wyan
I've lost one
3728
or two.
says, I have a solution, let's go to war.
Let's do it. Why not? I think we've all played some Call of Duty. How different can it be? Right?
Richard Wyan 3728 says, I love war. Cannot get enough.
Yep, that's right. Ah, yes. However, people think women are so peaceful. They play the worst type of war, the psychological warfare. Yes, women. Women are much harsher towards other women than they are to men. I've found. If you ever been in the middle of a
QFX
conflict
says,
between them, it's
I
absolutely
don't know,
terrifying.
sounds kinda intimidating.
Yeah. What, war? Oh, how bad can it be, right? That's why we play video games, because it prepares us so accurately for the reality, doesn't it? Ah.
QFX says, Man, Warhammer need to come out with an MMO, their art direction is spot on, I
Really?
just don't like RTS.
Been playing some StarCraft 2 recently. But yeah, I can see that. That'd be cool if they came out with an MMO, but MMOs are tough, man. Like, I don't know how you would. I always feel that there's a disconnect between developers and the people. And I think it has to do with probably like the people who back them with funding, right? So, because it kind of, they have to work within the confines of what those people who are funding them want. And oftentimes it conflicts
QFX
with
says,
the player
you know
base
why StarCraft feels decent, cause it's a
because they haven't
Warhammer
touched.
ripoff LMAO.
Yeah, what is it? I mean, Warhammer was out. Like, when was that? StarCraft's pretty old, but what I was gonna say, it feels decent because Blizzard hasn't touched it in over a decade, probably. I kind of don't want them to touch it because of that. I feel like anything they do these days just screws it up. So,
Richard Wyan 3728 says, I am more of a D&D StarCraft Red Dead 2 kind of guy.
Red Dead. Red Dead I haven't played. D&D I've never played D&D, but I do play Baldur's Gate 3, and that game is fun. I love that. And I also read their books. StarCraft 2 I've been playing because Zerx and Miz been playing. Friends. Shit, what's wrong?
QFX says. The way I understand it, it was originally supposed to be a Warhammer game, but then I didn't for whatever reason, and guess Blizz got away with just using parts of the IP.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I've always liked it. That's one of the games I played when I would like back in the day. They were on fire. They would have a new release every couple,
Richard
like
Wyan
every year, 2 years.
3728 says. Dan D is as good and fun as the people you get to play with.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, but I mean, if I think like Blizzard, they used to come out with just bangers year after year after year, and then finally, like in 2000, like 2000, like in the teens is when I think they kind of they screwed up quite a bit. I think it probably had to do with leadership for whatever reason. But I always root for them. I hope they come back. But I kind of feel like they kind of push like some political agenda stuff every once in a while, and it gets that I don't like. I kind of want to escape that type
Richard
of
Wyan
stuff.
3728 says. Like a second
Okay.
city improve if you get the right folks, or it is just a wow get together.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Right. That makes sense. I imagine a lot of that's just letting go and not being embarrassed about like doing RP actually in
QFX
real life.
says. Blizzard North was solid, Blizz South always making the cartoony shit, the good IPs are all ripped off shit, or Diablo they bought the IP off Blizz North then fucked it up with 3.
Well, so they've come out with QFX, have you seen the shorts that they've made, the new short videos? Well, I've watched 2 of them and both of them I've really liked because they actually like they're solid. It feels like how Warcraft 3 felt. And that's what they need to bring back, that feeling, along with listening to players about feedback and stuff like in the game. If they do those 2 things, I think it would be huge. But anyway, they really made some good videos, and it actually surprised me because I didn't think they had it in them. I really didn't. I said to myself, these guys are toast. But they really did a good job, I think, with this. You should watch them. They're actually not bad. Now, does that
Richard
change
Wyan
in-game stuff or no?
3728 says. Sorry for mentioning art, but I love your lines. QFX says.
Thanks,
I
Richard.
didn't see any of
Should be
that.
mentioning art.
I thought this was just housing pushing agendas, which I don't care about since it's a step away from PvP.
The shorts, the cartoons look good. Not they do have that come home, type of thing, which I hate, and that stuff is awful. Those videos are horrible. I don't like them. That stuff really actually makes me angry. But um no, this is different. There's 2 of them I saw that were out. One of them released like 3 days ago. The other was like a week ago. And I like them. They're good. It's not like they're they're cartoons. They're not cinematics like 3D. But that stuff, I said, all right, good. Somebody there gets it. Somebody there gets it. Yeah, Richard, we should be talking about art. But Richard, you see how I break this down? You saw it from the beginning, and I'm constantly like looking at the whole shape. So like when you break it down with these lines, you're looking at from point to point to point, and I'm still kind of doing that. So like when
QFX says.
I draw this, I want to
They
draw
trying
that.
to manipulate you to think WoW is your home and Blizz is your family for a good chunk of money. That shit makes me gag every time LMAO.
Yeah, but it's also just so corny to do, and the songs that are playing in those videos are so bad, and it's not, it misses the feel of everything. Like, I absolutely think that's why I'm saying it's just a disconnect. That's what I mean by that. Also, Richard, this paper that I'm using is really good, because it's like it's so smooth, and you can like I can totally erase the lines if I wanted to with this. But it's the Bristol paper. Let me show you which one it is. Where'd I put that? There it is. This Bristol, Strathmore Bristol, and smooth surface. And this is the 9 by 12 inch. Second, I gotta get this off. Let's see what I'm doing here. This is it right here. This is very good paper. This is what I'm using. So I don't use this for sketches. I
Benjamin
use this
Strong
for
2221
stuff that I'm
says,
actually going to be.
did you see that Super T's rated Fire Mage A S tier for PvP classes?
I can see that. Yeah, I mean, dude, Mage is in a good place. It is. It's in a very good place. Like I said, my thing is not if it's viable or not. It's just I I feel like it's a little bit clunky and I don't like the way it plays. That's it. But is it better than is it very good to play? And like I have some fun with it. I just had so much more fun last time, and it wasn't OP last time. Frost Mage was not OP for PvP, but now it's strong, and I'm not having as much fun with it. I do hope they change that. Like I've said this before, but no, I haven't seen the Super Tees stuff. Like Val, the thing with him
QFX
is like
says,
I don't always agree with what he
don't you
says.
have a RET? They're really good.
Yeah, I do. I just haven't. So I haven't like played a lot. I've mainly been messing around with the mage, and part of that's because I've just been so busy outside that I haven't really played much games in general. It's not for any other reason, but I do have a ret, and but I guess in PvP I heal more on it because that's what I need. I used to main red, like all the way, like that was my first tune that I
Richard
made.
Wyan 3728 says,
Yeah, Richard, you're
thanks for
welcome.
the paper info.
And otherwise, I use where's my sketch pad for that? Let's see, I'll show you what I use otherwise. This stuff, this paper's good, but it's a little like this is the stuff I use for just sketching, Richard. If I just want to do a sketch, I use a Strathmore sketch paper. This one, and it's just a fine tooth surface.
QFX says,
This
I
is
mained
a
RET
little
for a
cheaper.
while in Lich King 2, till I made a warrior LMAO.
There's your mistake. Actually, Warrior should be okay. I think they're gonna. I do believe Blizzard's paying attention to the feedback. I do believe that. They just need to be careful about, you know, they need to make sure that the player sentiment is correct, which is what they should do. Hmm. QFX, do you see yourself playing later? Or are you gonna pull a
Richard Wyan 3728 says,
War Within?
enjoy guys, I am going to do some work on a portrait.
All right, Richard. Good luck, man. Let me know if you need any help, okay? I can give you whatever advice or take a look at it if you want.
Richard Wyan 3728 says. Will do. QFX
Good
says.
luck, man.
I'll look into how PvP is doing a couple weeks into the season. If shuffle queues are back to 40 minutes, fuck that. Richard Wyan 3728 says. I am posting the progress on Discord.
Good. Good. I'll check it out. So QFX, you're not gonna like it either way because people are mean to you.
Richard Wyan 3728 says. Cool.
You know? Like you won't want that anyway. Doesn't matter. Like the queue time, the queue, you know the queue time's gonna be messed up because they're not doing anything for that. I mean, I guess if more people are playing, but I mean, they always make the same mistakes and then just sit on it. Oh,
QFX says. What else are you gonna do on the game LOL? I'm not only gonna play when you wanna play 5 minutes before you hit the sheets at 4 AM for MXD.
that's why you play. Savor those 5 minutes. Uh, well, you didn't really give us much of a shot. I mean, you only played for like a month. And you were like, they hurt my feelings, so I don't want to play. Which I understand. You should. Let me zoom this in some. Wah, 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 wah. Get it nice and close for us. Now that I have a blocking of it. Sorry. There you go. That's fine. Okay. There's the hand. It's starting to emerge. Emerge.
QFX says. I'm just in general less interested to play any game now, kinda lost the magic, all HP bars that get slapped down, but in shuffle they heal back up till deep dampsty.
You just, you know, yeah. I, I guess. I guess. This. Is that right? Should come down just a little bit, I think, along with this. Let's try that. Yeah, I just want you to play with us. It'd be cool. But alas, alas. You don't want to. And I don't blame you. You are afraid. It's lost the magic. Its mojo, if you will. Wait a second. That's there. Comes over. That should be right there. Should still come down just a little bit. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Drops. Drops. This and this is gonna drop. I think more than I. That's it. I think. There. It's out. And then. Is that right?
QFX says. There's been some argument going around they should add AI healers for lower shuffle times since that's what keeps M long. No one wants to heal PvP.
I think one of the things they tried to do was simplify it for them, and they took away their kicks, which I find problematic because I have found that it actually makes it harder in PvP because I don't have a kick. It's just one button, but for some reason they think if they want to this is the thing, if they want to simplify the game, simplify the talent tree just a little bit. Like I like having all the points, but they need to make it not modifiers. And maybe reduce it just a little bit, but I don't know. Just do that. Something like that. Is that looking better? And then this drops.
QFX says. The problem I see with that is that a regular heal would compete against a bot then, is that fun? Depends HWO difficult it's programmed I guess.
Yeah, I guess the higher rating it gets, the more difficult it is. But if you have to start bringing in AI to fix that in PvP, when you're playing with it's like you have an AI bot on a team, I unless that bot has like an actual conscience, unless we're like 10 years down the road, I think that's a testament to bad game design in terms of getting people to participate. If people don't want to do like, heals or whatever, I mean, they need to figure out some incentive. And it used to be it was more lucrative, like maybe they gave them an extra strong box or something. I think there's a lot of things they could do to get people to participate, but they just don't care for PvP as much. Because otherwise they would have done it by now. That's just what I think. I think they do care about PvP, but just not, obviously not enough to have them act on it yet. This is wrong.
Benjamin Strong 2221 says. I'm one of the rare few that enjoy healing in PvP lol I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yep. he's correct, but also you wouldn't know that sometimes when we play, especially
QFX
like
says,
in arena, it
they
gets
did
very
raise their damage, which is good immo, but healing shuffle is actually kinda unfun since you get CCED a lot and your mates don't really help much.
if that I don't know about shuffle, but if that's what it is, that's game design. They need to fix that. They should not be putting AI in PvP for rated. That's just, I mean, I just don't think that would be a good thing to do. That is still there, but this maybe drops some. I'm not seeing things clearly. I might not be seeing things clearly.
QFX says, the concept of it is a bit scuffed since it's not really full PvP anymore then, but how else are you gonna solve the healer problem? Shuffles for DPS were 40 minutes off season.
Off the top of my head, rewards, you incentivize them with rewards. You could make a healer specific PvP set that you can obtain. You could give them extra gold or loot or something in the boxes. You could give them, um, extra honor, extra conquest. I mean, there's a lot of things besides game design. I mean, they don't give rewards. Like people, they're thinking it's not worth
QFX
the time
says,
spent.
don't they already have extra loot box stuff? Doesn't seem to work.
I don't know. I know they've done it before and it helped. They do this
Benjamin Strong 2221
in
says,
PvE.
give me more damage lol.
He never needed that buff to begin with. That buff is such BS. He's already unkillable. Damn it.
QFX says, LOL
He
disc
is.
do more damage than some DPS specs now ski.
He's messing with you because he's insane. He already figured out how to maximize his DPS, and then they gave him a buff. It's ridiculous. It's looking a little better. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, just, I don't know. I mean, I guess it does. I think there is pressure in shuffle because you're not really with friends. So if like the healer messes up when they're in threes,
QFX says,
they're gonna get
if
more
I played
support.
again ID prob play Unholy DK or Mistweaver.
Unholy Decay is insane right now. But oh, and yeah, Mistweaver is very good too. They're OP, but they're gonna get nerfed. Yeah, I don't know, man.
QFX says. The funny thing is Unholy is still S tier after they got completely gutted last patch St.
Unholy's really good. They are extremely good. I was dueling one. Granted, he's a very good player. But I was dueling one on my mage, and I could not beat. I knew I couldn't beat him, so I just kept on practicing against him and stuff. But I would get him. There were a couple times I got him very low, and then he just healed all the way back up. Just couldn't kill him. Anti-magic shell on 30-second cooldown, and I mean, I cannot tell where my palm is here.
QFX says. They have a PvP talent that gives 25% melee DMG reduction on every blood strike, kinda crazy.
Wow. I mean, it's against melee, which would make sense because they're very weak against melee, apparently. They're strong against casters. I mean, look, all this stuff's going to change. And I really think that Blizzard's going to be doing some reworks of stuff anyway. I think eventually they will. I don't know why I put this in because I can't even see it. Take that back
Almond
out.
the Painter says.
Alman, what's up?
Good evening, folks.
Hello, good sir. Yes.
QFX says. I mean they also have AMS against every cast ergo or the purple DMG absorb field. Almond the Painter says. That block-in has a comic book vibe, I like it.
Yeah, it's cool, huh? Yeah. Like I'll probably end up filling the shadows in a second. I just want to try to correct the proportions a little bit more because when I come back and I look at it again, I'll see things that need to change. But it's good to push your eye to see more things, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. See more things in a simple stage, and that's how you get practice. Ooh, and one thing that I should have done in the beginning is put the, yeah, y'all can see this. Put the arm in soft, and I try to put it in soft like the perspective is, right? It's just very soft, so you want to try to keep um, the impression, and that means, soft lines where they need to be soft, right? Sharp where they need to be sharp. So you can get a sense of perspective and light impression even in the early stages of the blocking like this, because if you can get it early on, you're going to be so
QFX
much
says.
better later on.
It's kind of funny how they always have a zoo up and the go is to blow them up. Initially I didn't like a either, Kidna clunky AF, but it's more smooth since they made every rune the same color. Almond the Painter says. I agree, and thanks for always reminding us to keep it simple and harmonic.
You're quite welcome. Yeah. I'm glad it helps. That's stuff because, you know, I do these things, and every time I do them, I remind myself of what I'm supposed to be doing, and then I'll take note of the things that I didn't do well. Maybe I did well last time, but not this time, right? It's just constant battle going back and forth, trying to, figure out what the hell you're doing with this. Make sure something is correct here. 1 second. Okay. I just want to make sure this ambient sound on Twitch isn't coming through on YouTube, because otherwise I would definitely get a copyright strike. Maybe not a copyright strike.
Almond the Painter says, I am having a conversation with me these days. I gathered that I am taking this overly serious and forgetting that is really in respect to the rules a point to play and keep the enthusiasm.
With me these days, I gather that I am taking this overly serious. Alman, what are you talking about specifically? You're talking about just drawing and painting? Because I can tell you the rules, how they should apply to everything. Because a lot of people,
the Painter says,
drawing and painting.
Drawing and painting.
So, essentially, this is the way I see it. This is interesting because Shuttering Me, I don't know if you saw on Discord, she posted a video of somebody talking about bar drawings, how people take too long to do them and it makes them stiff in their work. And so a lot of the times there's always this, and this is just as discussions, it's nothing like you said, you didn't say anything wrong, but this got me thinking, how like you hear beginners saying, well, I don't want to do this. I don't want the rules to hold me back because I feel like I'm getting stiff, or I'm taking it too serious, or this or that. Here's the thing. You need to be guided through with the rules. It's hard to do it on your own, because that's when you get discouraged, and it does take a long time and you start making mistakes and you don't see fruit as quickly. And so that's when you start stuttering, like, just puttering down in your own work. But here's the thing, if you can get guided through and you understand the rules will make you more fluid and quick in your work. It will do the exact opposite of what most people think. That does not mean that you won't have to make an effort to move fast sometimes, right? I'm actively slowing myself down right now because I'm just trying to train myself in a certain way. And I'm also trying to be thorough for this because this is going to be in a video. But the rules and taking your time and really digesting what you're doing will make you understand it. It will ultimately make you faster. It's not going to slow you down. You just can't be an idiot about it. You can't say, oh, well, like you can't make zero effort to move quicker later on, but it takes a lot of work to get there. And that's the thing. And most people don't want to take that work, and they don't know because they're given bad advice. They'll say, well, oh, well, instead of just doing these bar drawings, why don't you try just doing these quick 1-hour sketches? That has some benefit, but when you go fast as a beginner, you're missing a lot of things that your eye won't catch because it's not trained to.
QFX says,
so that's how I see it.
Are you actively slowing yourself down in Arena 2?
Yes, because I don't want my opponents to feel like they got beaten as bad as I could beat them. And that's why. Same thing in Arena. Jackass. Every time I say something profound, you bring it back to that. What about in Arena?
QFX says, or did Bliss do that for Yat?
Don't get me started on that rework. If they brought Blast Wave back, I'd be happy just because it was a fun spell. Oh, so OP. I don't care. There's a lot of OP things in the game. It was fun. They should keep it. They should bring that back. That was a hit when they took that away. Everybody was upset. But your mentality, Alman, should be one of having fun as you're doing the rules. And I'll give you an example. I was thinking about this driving here today. I was like, you know what? I have a
Killer
really
Pod
great
5042
job.
says, "Sup burrito lover."
Shut up, Oka. I was thinking I have a really great job, but I can convince myself that this is a job. But really, it's me coming in here chilling and doing the things that I love to do. So it's a mentality. So when you're doing your work and you're saying, well, I'm taking things too serious for this or that, maybe you're on the right track, but your mentality, right, is off. And so think, okay, like this is actually a lot of fun. Convince yourself it's fun and go through and, work and, go through, learn the rules. I guarantee you as well, and I'm just throwing stuff out, maybe some of the stuff sticks, maybe some of it you can relate to, but like the more you practice, I guarantee you, like look back a month or a year and see how far you've progressed, and I guarantee you you're
QFXYT
doing things
says,
much quicker now.
"Winning is fun. Sheen wasn't wrong about that, Steve."
That was a spectacular meltdown, and he made it out of it. Can you believe it? Okay. Okay, I take it that you are in midnight right now, threat level midnight. Am I correct in my assumption, Oka?
QFXYT says,
I am correct.
"But losing a load of matches, damn son, that's demotivating." QFXYT says, "Demotivating."
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Alman the Painter says, "Well, of course, and I do not like the trend that some YouTubers are invoking. I have clashed with some teachers over the rules and use of site size, which I find so useful and utterly underappreciated."
Good. Because in site size, like here's the thing, and this is what gets to me.
QFXYT says, "Do you know Odd Nerdrum?"
Yes.
Killer Pod 5042 says,
I've never met him,
"That
but
hand
yes.
could hold a big burrito."
The thing is, whoever is talking trash about
QFXYT
site
says,
size and saying it's,
"Do you like his art?"
I do like certain things, but I think that a lot of it conveys some ugliness that I find distasteful, and I think that he could be doing better with. I think his work is a little bit ugly. Is he talented? Yes, he has some solid techniques, and he's done things that I like. But overall, I find it very just. I don't like a lot of it. But what was I going to say? I'm going to preach to the choir because I think you understand this, Alman. But like site size is, you're not supposed to just mindlessly copy. Site size is, like you said perfectly. It's extremely helpful. It's a great tool. It's just one of the many tools
Killer
you should
Pod
be using.
5042 says, "Lewis, we had a really crazy AV when over RR. It was a back and forth,
Good.
but in the end we got into their mind and farmed them to get the wind."
Good. Good. That makes me feel good. I'm glad you got them. Like, you should be using comparative measurements and reason and trying to see the form, understand the form. You got to put your understanding in while you're using site size, using all these things at the same time, everything all at once. That's the end game. Now, when you first start doing things, at first you can only do one thing at a time. So, of course, at site size, you might end up just copying it back and forth. So, fine, and that's okay as a beginner because you're learning how to do a tool, but the end game is not that. It's not just to you know, cut out comparative measurements, all these other elements that should be in your
QFXYT
work.
says. They like to implement certain techniques over prettiness, I guess.
A lot of people don't understand the benefit of site size, and they think that's what's holding them back in their work because they're not getting form, or they don't have enough space to do it, um, or it doesn't teach how to do comparative measurement, and that is so disconnected because they're failing to see that it's a tool that you can use in tandem with all these things. There's something very you don't want to ever become dependent on any one
QFXYT
thing.
says. I mean the odd nerdrum school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. But anyway, like you should be using these things. It's good to know, be able to see the exact distance of something, but it's also good to be able to do things that are non-site size. But that doesn't mean because it's good to get into the practice of just solid comparative measurement and being able to change the distances yourself. That's a very good exercise as well. But um, like I've heard all sorts of things like, oh, site size makes it so that your form isn't good. That's bullshit. Because when I was learning, I remember in my second year, the teachers on my case, they were teaching us in site size, but they were telling us to get the form. So you had to learn to get the form and to see it, but do it in site size. Site size isn't a hindrance for it. Now, at first, when you're learning it, of course, it's like you can only do so much and it might be a hindrance then, but that's the beginner stage. You're learning how to expand your brain to do all these things at once. I just don't get it. I don't know why I've heard the stupidest stuff from people and their work's decent. They should know better, but they're giving horrible advice. Horrible advice. You know, there's many different ways of learning. You don't need to learn site size, but don't say false things about it. I mean, that's how I look at it. If you don't want to learn it, all right, fine, but don't misrepresent it. And I don't think a lot of these people I don't think it's an intentional thing. I really think that they don't know. And that baffles me. Because a lot of this stuff, it was like people in our second year knew this stuff. Now, some people have come from the academy and they're saying this stuff. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell have they been teaching the last 10 years? And I do get a little bit upset over it because um, I I want people to understand this stuff. I think it has to be frustrating for artists. It's hard to get in these schools. You might feel lost where to
QFXYT
go,
says.
and then you hear
So
that
you knew it
advice
in
and
your
screws you
fourth?
up. Fourth year, I was actually there for 4 years. Um, but yeah, I think I knew it probably in my second, if not second, then definitely the third. The second I was teaching, so I had to have known. Anyway, it was
QFXYT says. No way you were there for 6 and 1 at the other.
look, still listen, do a little something here.
KillerPod 5042 says. Midnight leveling, it's a little slow, but we have a lot of time. We got till March 17th.
Oka Waypoint is apparently a good leveling app or add-on. Sorry, I don't know why I said app. Waypoint.
QFXYT says. Can't fool me, man. I see through you like hiding out an altar time behind the thickest pillar. MJF88 says. Is there a right or wrong way to learn site/size? Or is it a pretty universal system?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've never thought about that. I guess I would need an example. Uh, that's a very good question. all I can do is tell you how I was taught. Um, I can show you. You have like, say, you have the board, and this edge of the board's here, right? It's the edge of the board. That's the board.
KillerPod
This is the board.
5042 says. You don't need that on just follow the campaign. It's super basic. It's not bad either.
Okay, gotcha. So you would put your paper up here. Maybe you know this. Stop me if you already know
Almond
this.
the
You put it
Painter
up
says.
right here.
I might add that to also put emphasis on form, since I found that in my experience that was lacking behind a bit. Benjamin Strong
Always look for the form
2221
and
says.
understand the form.
Ding LVL85.
Nice, man. Three-dimensionality. You got to understand what you're looking at, and that's why you want a live model, ideally, because you can go around and look. Like we had a live model last night. You go around and you look, at all sides, so you know the contour, what you're drawing. Like, you can only see if you're drawing the arm.
QFXYT says.
Go and look at this side of it.
Do
see
you
how
guys even like to level up again? For me, this
I
is
hate it.
usually inconvenience I try to avoid by queuing dungeons.
I hate that. So anyway, so you put your paper up on the side, so like it's on the very edge. You tape it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're gonna have the figure like off in the distance, right here. So here's the figure. Okay. That's his penis. That guy whose dick was literally down to his knees. All right, and so then what you do, you're gonna bring this like, so you're standing here, you have to stay here, and then you're just gonna stand over, mark the bottom, the top.
Nice three-legged horse.
And then you try to, and the midpoint, which I have all the way down here. And then you draw it in the exact size you see it, and so you're constantly.
KillerPod 5042 says.
Right. So this is real life.
Sorry, what's the name of the school you went to draw burritos?
Shut up! I'm not going to say it again.
Says,
people keep on making fun of me.
Did you see Scary Movie 2?
I think a long time ago. But anyway, that's how we were taught here. And then, say that it's a drawing. Well, then you have your paper here. So like if I'm right-handed, okay, look, you put the drawing in, but you touch them side by side. Right? So say this is the one you want to copy, because I'm right-handed, I'll be standing here, because you don't want to like, anyway. It's the same concept. It's just you're doing it on a two-dimensional surface here, right? You mark it 1, 2, and you try to. So that's how you do it. Like this is 2-dimension and then 3-dimension, and this is hard because you'll notice when you go forward a little bit that this figure will appear smaller on the paper, but when you step back, the figure will get larger on the paper. So that's the idea. So if you want to do larger drawings, you step back.
They had this demon-possessed chick who peed all over the floor for a minute. Then someone said, damn, who let the horse in XD?
So anyway, so that's how we were taught with this. And we first learned two-dimensional through bark drawings, slowed ourselves down, and then, and learn the process, try to really understand the process. Here's the other thing that's very important when you're studying. When you're first learning, you don't want to just simply go through the motions and just finish the drawing and make it look good. You really want to try to understand what you're doing.
Says,
right?
Is the aim to draw it by guessing / eyeballing measurements or checking with measuring tools?
Both. So a lot of people use like calipers.
KillerPod 5042
Don't do that.
What hand do you use to stare at your burrito? QFXYT says. That intro with the priest who takes a huge shit first when he arrives is pure gold in general.
We're so retarded. Which I've created this, but all right, so I use a plumb line, but here's what, you can use calipers to check, but my point being, a lot of people, there's this teaching going around right now where people are just measuring and then going through, and they're just like, say they want, this is the drawing they need to copy it over here. They're like, okay, let's take this point here, mark 1, mark 2, and they're just, don't do that. Train your eyes. Try to see the points.
I'm here now. You're safe.
What's up, girl? Thank you. I felt threatened. But like, so with me, MJF, is that like for this, I would say, okay, like if I'm trying to see this point, now I'm copying this. I'm like, okay, if this point, the width is going to be about, wait, right here, down to here, right? And we're trying to eye it. And you want to try to, yeah, you can see that. You want to try to, see the main shapes from here to here. You want to try to keep on looking at these and training your eye to see it. And then after a while, you can go, right? And you can kind of measure it out. Say, okay, here to here, here to here, you know, and measure. And sometimes that's a little off, but here's the other thing. A trained eye is always better than this because there's always going to be a little bit of movement. And that subtle movement, that subtle distance is what you'll lack with this. So you want to be doing both, but you want to be
QFXYT
checking at the
says,
very end with this.
Yeah, I look at a lot of shapes over the day.
Sure you do. Anyway. So like right now I'm at the point where obviously I'm filling the shadow shapes in, but like I really kept it here for some time.
Almond the painter says, I am forced to work figurative without sight size since not having access to models and only being able to work from reference. I guess that is what makes it harder and adds pressure.
Sorry, I'm forced to work figurative without size since not having access to
Almond the
models.
painter
Only being
says,
able to work from reference,
one
I guess.
downside to being used to models LOL.
Yeah, so if you only have the references, you can still, like if you have an iPad or something, or if you can print it up, you can still do like a small sight size, right? So you can do a smaller one, but yeah, ideally, you want to try to find a model. It's, you know what? It's hard to find a model class because they have to really stand up for a
Thanks,
while.
mate. Appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
Just
Those are
trying
good
to
questions.
work out my process.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm here. Try to help the people who, if you don't have a school or something. It's hard to find. Like, I don't know how I would come across this stuff. There's advantages of YouTube and Twitch and you're on YouTube. There's advantages of this stuff, but seeing it like, here, because y'all can actually see in a close up of what I'm doing. But obviously, at a school you want to be at a school with somebody like with competent teachers teaching this stuff.
Whose hand is that?
Mine. Yeah, I took these pictures. Yeah, trying to be as real as I can with this stuff.
What, show me your nails?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I have clubbed. They're clubbed. Let's see. Second. Here. There you go. Look at that. They're not flat. They're clubbed. See? They're curved.
Shurikitten says, that's not good.
I know.
That's a heart condition or vitamin deficiency.
There it is.
Shurikitten says, have you had the doctor look at that?
Yep. Yeah, I have. And then he charged me an arm and a leg for it.
QFXYT says, a true frost mage's hands.
I am a real mage.
MJF88 says, I have a feeling I'm putting too much time pressure on myself. How long will you work on a drawing like the one you're working on?
Well, this one, I'll probably work on it about 6 to 9 hours.
What did they say about it? QFXYT says,
I don't remember.
The right arm usually a little stronger than the left.
Shut up. I forgot what they said. I think they thought it might just be my genetics. And I might have a heart problem. They did a heart scan or whatever on me, and apparently my heart is slightly too large for my cavity. And they asked me if I was having chest pains. I said no. They said then I'm probably okay for now. Apparently Arnold Schwarzenegger had the same thing. He had to have surgery for it. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or what. But MJF, how far along are you in your studies? Because in the beginning, like for something like this, it depends on how far I want to push it. I'm keeping this very simple and I can still change it. I'm just going for accuracy. This is going to be in a video, but I'm not certain about this stuff. When I come back, I'll see
says,
things that need to change.
that dude pumped a lot of blood.
I don't know where you're going with that, but I don't trust.
QFXYT says, I mean I'm kinda too, just in a different area.
Are you talking about your penis? Is that what you're doing again? Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, beginners, I would say, like,
QFXYT says,
how long would you take on something like
always.
this is my question. MJF, always, of course. That's why I don't, yeah.
Shurikitten says, LOL, just keep an eye on your condition.
LOL, just keep an eye on your condition. Comforting words. You know what? You know what's funny about this? I scroll up, I say, don't worry, I'm here. You can relax or whatever. What'd you say? I'm here now, you're safe. And then immediately makes me fear for my life. Oh my gosh, let me see those hands right there. I didn't think about that when I used my hands as the reference, but people will see
Almond the
my
Painter
club fingers.
says, thanks for the small site size tip, Signore. Much appreciated. I will
Welcome.
use it in the next project.
Almond, did you say something about form? Did you say something?
KillerPod 5042 says, how many burritos can you bench?
Dude, freaking
QFXYT says, might want to have that brain checked too for the inability to put up any walls in arena.
I'm getting better at that, okay? It's very difficult. And half the time I do, Zerx dies because I wall him off and then he gets killed or something. I have flashbacks of this. Wakes me up in the middle of the night. Poor Zerx. That angle is wrong.
QFXYT says, LMAO, that shit stays for like 15 seconds. Shurikitten
It's
says,
great. It's good.
so in FAA would they have you correct the hands and make the fingers not clubbed because of beauty
No.
standards?
No. They wouldn't do that. They would have you do it exactly as it is. The only thing that ever told us not to draw as it was the crease right here. Like I don't really have one, but I don't think, but this dark crease right in faces. They said always play that down because for some reason they don't look right whenever you put them in. That's what they said. That's the only thing I can remember them saying change. Everything else was you do it as it is, jackass. What are you doing? Good. Okay, he's playing with the board. He's okay. We're good. Nobody panic.
Almond the Painter says, yes, I did. I mentioned it in the context of when I first was taught site size and how that lagged behind, but I had that fixed, but any advice would be welcome.
Oh, good.
QFXYT says, LOL, at odd school they have a rule to always put the crease in.
You can put the crease in, you just downplay it a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't want to make it as dark as it is. So Almond, it depends on like just always go for form and making it look sculptural. That's all I can say.
Self-taught. Been drawing/painting for years. I'm 37, but actually going back to the fundamentals properly in the last 2 years. I'd honestly only work on something like this for around 2 hours though.
I'd have to see your work, but you probably want to do more than that. And You might get further, you might not, but you want to like, you really want to take it as a study and push it. Now, it's fine if like, it's fine doing a drawing in like 2 hours, but it depends on your work. Like most beginners, if you're going back to the beginning, you want to really slow yourself down and focus. I don't know if you
QFXYT
caught what I was
says,
saying. I'll repeat what
I'm
I
pretty
said.
spent after 2 hours too, also when drawing.
What you're talking about. Anyway, so like you want to slow yourself down so you digest everything and understand it. And in the end, that will actually speed you up. It won't make it so that you're so incredibly slow all the time. It will make you better faster, in my opinion. At first, you're going to take a hit because you're just going to slow yourself down. That's it. You just want to digest what and you want to increase your ability to work on things for longer periods of time. So something 2 hours, keeping it a stage for like an hour or an hour and a half to 2 hours, like especially the blocking stage, that's really going to train your mind at that stage to see these things. You can move forward, anybody can move forward, but to be able to keep yourself there and really digest and understand and really force yourself to see beyond what you're normally capable of at that stage, that's what we're going for. And so I'd have to see the work and understand where you are with this stuff. But if it was a beginner student, this is what I would do. And so a beginner student, I would say, like, if you're trying to get this like absolutely perfect,
Almond the
go at
painter
least
says,
15 hours, at least 15 hours.
QFXYT do some terp huffing to solve that being spent issue.
Sure, he's already doing it.
QFXYT says, I usually paint at night under bulb light, then in the morning at sunlight I look at it and think what is this shit XD.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you see it when your eye, and that's the thing. My mind, I was actually drawing before I started streaming. My mind is tired from doing this stuff, and now I'm pushing it, right? That's what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing this with my head when I'm talking, but I am. That's what we do. Just got to push it, right? And slowly I'm starting to carve out what I have. And if I need to change, here's the thing. I'll
QFXYT
probably have to
says,
change big
the
shapes when
bulb
I come
light
back.
makes it look more chromatic, then in the sunlight it looks significantly more white.
Because the light, if it's warm light, the higher the Kelvin, the cooler it's going to be. Lower the Kelvin, that's the color temperature of the light, it's going to be warmer. And so it's going to be putting warmth into the painting for you, right? Normally those light bulbs are between 30 and 40,000 Kelvin. 60, 65, that's starting to get to fluorescent. The lights that I have in here are about 55, 50, they might be 50, 50, which is kind of the mid between. You want something between 50 and 55 Kelvin. That's what you, if you're working indoors.
QFXYT says, LOL Calvin, as if I have a fancy setup to change that shit.
Kelvin. And it's
MJF88 says,
KELV.
I think cause I'm studying and drawing home alone I don't have a good idea of realistic production time. Thanks for the info mate, love your work.
Anytime, and thank you. I appreciate that. Well, that's why I'm here, is to answer these questions. The stuff, like, notice I am working like all around here. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I'm comparing everything off each other and fixing it and trying to make it all work at once. The idea is you want to understand
says,
everything you're doing.
Museums use 5,000 Kelvin.
That makes sense. That makes sense. 5,000? Yeah. What did I say? 50? Yeah, I meant 5,000. Meant 5,000, not 50. But so 5,000, 6,000. 6,000 is fluorescent. And then what do we say? 3,000. It is 3,000. Yeah, it is. It's 3,000 would be like a light bulb in your house, warmer ones. It's actually nicer at night, the warmer light at night. Oh. So here, the cool thing about this is now we can start carving with our eraser certain things out, start cleaning it up, and that's the idea. Is you just kind of like want to develop everything at once. But you know, oh, so I was saying with the rules, there's always this ongoing conversation, artists, giving advice, and they're saying, well, you don't always want to spend a lot of time on your work, like in the very beginning, because you want to do
QFXYT
things
says.
faster, and so you
He'll
want to
just
train
only look at
faster.
my stuff during night, winky face.
Yeah. So but to be
Shuri
honest
Kitten
with you,
says.
the more
7000 is blue light, 2000 is warm light.
warm light's lower. Yeah. So anyway, like you want to take your time to learn the rules because ultimately that's what will make you faster. But a beginner won't know this because especially if they're not guided by somebody who knows what they're doing, because they'll just linger in there and it might actually slow them down. But knowing these things, it's going to automatically make you quicker at what you do. And the more you practice, the faster you're going to get with this stuff, and you're going to become faster without really having to rush. It's going to kind of happen subconsciously, you
Shuri
know.
Kitten says. I
It'll
have special
naturally
key
happen.
lights from El Gato that let me see this.
Gotta. Ah, yes.
KillerPod 5042 says. When you draw a taco, how much lettuce do you add?
You and your tacos and burritos, man. What you're like? You're like that retarded kid who never got past his own fart in the bathtub.
QFXYT says. Nick Thurman had some VID on some lights.
Did he?
Shuri Kitten says. He likes a lot of bush, so a lot of lettuce.
No. No. But see, all this stuff I could, like, I have done this light enough to be able to erase all this. All of it. And another good mentality to have is like, your eraser isn't for erasing, it's for drawing. Draw with eraser, meaning like I can cut out, I'm drawing like light shapes with the eraser. You can clean up with it too, obviously, but I mean, in paint, it's our white. Do that, and then you're going to start seeing light shapes a little bit more clearly. See, this light shape right here is
QFXYT
incorrect.
says. Bro working the lettuce like his rating during last week rating inflation.
I really didn't play last week that much. Well, no, we did play some. We did. Oh, this comes over.
Almond the painter says.
Comes up.
So as in Aesop's tale of the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady should do the trick for someone continuing learning on their own.
Yes, but you want to either be with me or somebody who like keep on tuning into somebody who knows what they're doing to keep you within the guardrails so you don't develop bad habits, right? You need to be guided.
KillerPod
Yeah.
5042
But
says.
you're right. You're
You
right
wanna
about
come
that
see my
slowness thing.
homemade bubbles, I hear.
No. Psycho.
QFXYT says. Can you guide me to Gladmount?
Of course I can, you know that.
MJF88 says. I wish I could stay and watch this whole thing, but it's morning in Australia now. I gotta go be an adult, damn it.
All right, man. I'll be on again. Australia, that's awesome. You go be, oh, that you can be in Australia.
QFXYT says. You know Glad ain't 1700, right?
Shut up. We're gonna get it. I'll get Val to carry me. He's good. I think if we put ourselves to it, we could. We just never really. I've never done a serious push for it, you know. I've never done a serious push for it.
QFXYT says, is he a pumper? Almond
Yeah,
the
he's
Painter
very
says,
good.
I
He's
have
very
good
good.
friends from FAA and you of course so I can always get critiques, thank God.
There you go. That's it. That's what you got to do. Yeah, that's what you have to
QFXYT says,
definitely have to stick with that.
what's his highest rating?
You gotta ask him. Val, what's your highest rating if he's still here? Not in threes though. None of us really do threes. It's mainly twos right now. I mean, he's
QFXYT
21
says,
or 22.
threes is a different beast, man. In twos you only gotta control 2 POPs.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's what I'm saying, but we'll do it. Like we'll try our best. I'm not gonna, you know, we're getting better. We've been doing more threes recently. Me, him, and Zerks. Me, Val, and Zerks we were doing some threes last week. We're doing pretty good too, actually. And we also have Gears. Gears will always help us. He's really cool. We'll get into it. All this stuff, it's just practice and but it's hard to get three people on. Zerks and I are always on the same time.
Not
Boy.
OCA says,
Okay.
Shurikitten, did you want to join BSG with us all?
Guys, I got to get going. Let Shutter me an answer. But anyway, this is what I got. It still needs some work. I'm intentionally keeping it here and refining it, but it's not bad blocking.
QFXYT says,
Solid
I heard
blocking.
Feral and Rodruid Tros here again, kinda sucks for the Druid heals, but balance is pumpin'. Almond the Painter says, I hope that I wasn't much of a mope, my intent was getting a second opinion on what I was thinking regarding my practice.
Alman.
Wilty at that I thank you for the fun chat and wish you all a pleasant evening.
Dude, I enjoy what you're making me talk about. It's like really good. And I really wish more people had your mentality, honestly. And it seems
Not
like you're very good
OCA
at
says,
discerning.
Lewis, hit me up when you can Discord.
Okay. Yeah. I'll try to do it like maybe after I get off the stream, I can talk a little bit if you want. Sound good? But yeah, no, you're doing good, and you seem like it seems
Not
like you're on the
OCA
right
says,
track, is my point.
cool.
Yeah. Seems like you're on the right track. You're doing good. But it's good you have good questions, and that's why I do this, man. I mean, because it's not well known, and there's always going to be people giving bad advice, and hopefully I don't give bad
Not
advice.
OCA says,
But
going to get a drink, BRB.
all right.
QFXYT says, you switching to BSG or what?
Talking to Shittering me, I'm kind of on the outside of all that stuff right now. But guys, I think that's it for me today. Hopefully this was helpful. But yeah, I wish I streamed more this week, but it's been one of those weeks. Just couldn't get to it. Look at him. Dad, don't pull those laces. Here, don't do that. Relax, boy. I got you. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go. All right, guys. Y'all are awesome. I will see you. Have a nice weekend, all right? We'll see you guys next week.
QFXYT says, arrivederci.